So now we got human beings, 3-4 human beings that own almost the whole planet. There's a chart. Look at this chart. I'm going to put this chart up here. Look at the land that the 1% own. Look at the percentage of America that a very small percent of people own. How can human beings own the earth? This is what the system created. So the system did not create a form of equality and fairness for everyone. It created just the opposite. And that's the point I'm trying to get you to see. Everything I'm about to say, you already know it to be true. You are a slave. You are a slave to money, to social economics, to status, to politics, to ideology. You have sold your soul to have a place in a world order that you should naturally oppose. Whoa now. Welcome back to the Black Hour from Brother Kush. Look, man, I want to continue talking about these problems that are created solely by the system that we act like just come out of out of nowhere. One of the most disingenuous positions that the people take in this society, in the world today, is when they got a little something going for themselves, how they thumb their nose at everybody else. Like, oh man, you don't have to be homeless out there. Oh man, you can get up and do this. Oh man, you can get up and do that. Say, bruh, all of these problems that we face are direct creations of the system. And that's a problem because the system was created to prevent or circumvent such problems. That was the whole point of the system. Now, I'm going to give you a very, very quick history of this system, how it started from old Europe and worked its way over, and why they started in Europe and why it sort of made a little sense in Europe, just a little bit. I'm going to explain this here a little bit. And I'm going to show you that the system in general is a form of socialism. That's exactly what it is. So all you conservative coons out there, the whole system is socialism. We don't live in a get it how you live reality, people. I don't know what the hell wrong with y'all. This is not a get it how you live reality, man. As I've said many times on many videos, you niggas talk like y'all are out there swimming in the ocean, man, with a bayonet, a sword in y'all mouth or something like that. And y'all hunting the fish, killing the fish, and y'all swimming back to shore with a big ass fish, putting it out the water so your family can eat. We are not, this is not a get it how you live situation. We are not in the jungle. I hear you white boys always want to talk about the strongest survive because y'all got a fucking job. That don't make you the strongest because you got a damn job. That's what's wrong with you white boys, man. And that was the red pill white boys. These are the white boys that y'all whole black manosphere, Ipmore, red pill, all of y'all come from the ideology of those kind of stupid ass white boys talking about, man, in the natural world, the women will get with the men that can provide and protect. You ain't protecting nothing. You ain't providing them. The system is providing for you. And that same system has failed tens of millions of Americans alone. That same system failed people so bad in one of them Central American countries where the people had an uprising that led to the rewriting of their constitution. The system has failed so bad in France that they've been riding over there since 2018, 2019, way before the COVID thing. They was tearing France up because too many people are struggling under a system that promised us that it would make it easier for human beings to survive, because that is what the system was supposed to be designed to do. Now, before we go there, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to receive notification when I drop more videos. If you don't hit the bell icon, you gotta check on the channel physically to see if I drop the video. Brothers, sisters, hit the thumb up, even if you don't agree. Look, if you don't agree with the video, hit the thumb down. Don't just leave. Thumb it down. Don't just leave. Thumb it down, thumb it up. If you don't want to thumb it down or up, drop a smiley, a thumb up, or a thumb down in the comment section. Any type of interaction with the channel helps the algorithm. Y'all got to start helping with the algorithm. Seriously. This is a serious message that I have, man. And I know a few of y'all recognize that, bro. What I'm talking is deep shit. This is a serious message, so I need y'all to help me get it out there. So let's talk about this right now. the problem. When you live in a place where you have a long winter, let's say you live in an area where you have a harsh, long winter, right? Then having a form of socialistic type of system, a community type of viewpoint, which is where communism come from, right? Having something that say, okay, we're going to work together, right? So that we can have things, so that all of us can have access to the things that we need year round, right? So you create a system, right? Now, why they created it based on money, I don't know, but you create a system. Well, I do know, because they needed a way to create wealth. And that was the only way to create wealth, is by creating some type of monetary thing. And he who has the most of the monetary thing has the most authority and power and influence. But it shouldn't be that way. Money should not be influence. Money should not be power. Money should not have any other benefit other than allowing the person that has the money to live a bit more comfortably. That should be the only benefit of money. But it's not, because the system was built on top of the money. The money is how the system maintains its control. The people at the top, that top class, the money is how they justify their positioning. I can't think of this organization. I'm going to put it up here when I edit the video. How these people sitting around talking about us and everything. A bunch of billionaires that's unelected. Nobody know who most of them are. And they sit around in these forums every other year or so, and they map out how to control the population, how to move society. And it works. And I know all y'all heard about that Kojo conspiracy. Y'all think it's conspiracy about the way that all the countries sort of did the same thing at the same time in response to the so-called virus. They wasn't lying. And the crazy thing is that the information is out here. These people planned that. That was not a conspiracy. They literally got it documented. I have the documents. I can put a link to it if you want. I can email it to you if you want. I have the actual documents where you can see step by step everything that these countries did. They worked on it in like late 2019, and in early 2020, they activated it. Just worked on it, and like 4 months after they worked on it, they activated it. I mean, to a T. Come on, people. That's what the system has been created to control. That's what I'm trying to say. The system, they told us that they was creating a system to benefit us all equally. That's socialism, right? All you conservative coons, that's socialism. That's communism, right? See, you know what you're going to say now? But the truth of the matter is the system was only trying to justify a certain group of people having all the power and control. And it took them a long time to get to this point where they at now. Where they almost have complete plenary authority over us, people. Look the word up. They almost have complete plenary authority over us. If you don't know, plenary is a legal term that means unqualified and absolute. These people almost have complete plenary authority over us right now, because over the decades, our so-called leaders did nothing but constantly convince us to invest deeper and deeper and deeper into the system, to the point where now it's almost illegal for you to have a damn home garden. Now, if you got farmland, the government is trying to figure out to make you register that so they can come take it from you. They don't want you growing your own food. They don't want you surviving outside of them. Because if you can survive outside of them, you don't need them anymore. And they've been moving towards this. This is why Gates and y'all dude that y'all like at Amazon, at your Bezos, this is why they buying up millions of acres of farmland. What the hell do one man need with millions of acres of land for? How is that even legal to allow one human being to buy millions of acres of land? You should not be able to own more land than you can fucking use. And that's the problem. See, the problem is not that there should be no private property. The problem is that private property should be limited to property that you can actually utilize. Squatters. It's a squatter's thing. If you're sitting on it, it's yours. If you're sitting on it, it's yours. That should be the way private land is determined. Not by way of purchasing it. So now we got human beings, 3-4 human beings that own almost the whole planet. There's a chart. Look at this chart. I'm going to put this chart up here. Look at the land that the 1% own. Look at the percentage of America that a very small percent of people own. How can human beings own the earth? This is what the system created. So the system did not create a form of equality and fairness for everyone. It created just the opposite. And that's the point I'm trying to get you to see. The system created exactly the opposite. It created poverty. It didn't alleviate it. It created hunger. It didn't alleviate it. It creates crime. All of these things are direct results of this system. There is no pull yourself up by your bootstrap. Human beings should not be forced to work. You should have a way to live outside of the system. Hell, I mean, if you don't have money, you can't do much anyway. I mean, so why they got to stop you from living? The money is already the mark of the beast from the Bible, right? You can't buy or sell without it. So why don't we have lands where human beings could just live free? Areas on the planet where we could just form our own free communities outside of the system where we actually get it how we live. Because that's how y'all talk like we are out here actually hunting for food, catching our food, growing our food. No, you going to Kroger's, bro. You going to Walmart. We are not living like human beings. You are in a socialist machine. We all work to the benefit of a few, and we are controlled by that few. I'm going to say it again. We are all working to the benefit of a few. So all you conservative coons, I don't know what you're talking about. This is all communism. This is all socialism. I don't know what you're talking about. We don't work to the benefit of ourselves because you don't have a right not to work. You don't have a right not to participate. You have to partake in something, and then the opportunities are hard. Then every time you look around, they pass another law, another rule, another regulation to make it harder for people to get employment. The jobs don't pay a livable wage. I mean, the system has failed us. What are you supporting, black men? Why y'all online pretending like all you niggas are rich? What are you supporting? When are y'all going to recognize that y'all have no benefit within this thing and demand your human rights and your status and demand that you get out? When are you going to realize that? When are you going to realize that this is a dead investment and you're going to pull out your equity, which is you? You are the investment. Pull it out. When are we going to realize that we can do better on our own? That actually in a free society outside the system, we can actually live better. We will all be married. We will all have children. We will have families. We will have loving communities. We won't have crime. We won't have violence. We won't have poverty. When are you going to realize that we can do better outside of this? This thing has failed us. We bought into this under the promise that it's going to make life easier. Now, the reason why I started in Europe is because we didn't need to do that over here. Our leaders talked us into this. Since the European arrived, there have always been Negroes that popped up, that negotiated with them, like the last video I did talking about it, that negotiated with them on our behalf. I mean, who gave them the right? Just like the brother mentioned Martin Luther King and Farmer and Phillips, you know what I'm saying, talking about they negotiated with the power structure while they were out there protesting. I told y'all in one video that march on DC that King became famous for, he wasn't even involved in that initially. He came on board late and stole the show, which he basically calmed it down. He came on late and basically changed the trajectory of whatever energy that was out there, wherever it was going to go. He calmed that energy down. He was used as a tool by them people. And again, I'm not saying that he did that willingly, but I'm just saying that's what he was. You see, one of the worst things you can be is ambitious. Ambition makes you usable. When you want power, then those that really issue power have something that you want, and they could dangle that in front of you and you're going to do whatever they want you to do to get it. And this is why we don't ever get good men in high positions, because most good men don't want power over nobody. Oh, y'all ain't hearing it. Y'all ain't hearing it. This is why we get the same types over and over running for government, because the kind of men that should run, they really don't want power and authority over other human beings. They don't want to do that. So they don't seek it. And the kind that seek it shouldn't have it. King wanted power. I don't care whether or not he was a good man deep down or not. That power corrupts. Look up the old saying. Power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. So the more power these people get, the more they are corrupted by their power. And they understand that. Ever since they came here, you always had these Negroes that wanted some type of authority and power. And they would go negotiate with them, then come back and talk to the people, you know, and get out there on the corners back then, because they didn't have TV and all that, right? So they would get up there to the megaphones and talk to the people, and we can do this, and they convinced, they basically sold this system to us. Black people did. Black people did. They sold the idea of this system to us under the guise that it will make life easier. You won't have to get out there and farm. You won't have to get out there and work all day. You won't have to get out there and grow food, catch animals, and do this and that, do that. People just do it for you. The kinds of people that like skinning animal stuff, they'll work at a meat factory. The kinds of people that like growing food, they'll work on a farm. And we're going to make everything commercialized. You work just a few hours a day. You get paid these shekels or whatever. And then you just go purchase what you want. It was easy. Work wasn't long days. You didn't work a lot. You made money. It was easy. So the system promised something, and then it yanked it from under your feet. So now you're struggling, and you got these niggas talking about, oh man, you could do better. Pull yourself up by your bootstrap. You could try something. Your options are limited within a system. Are y'all stupid or what, bruh? I mean, come on, man. You educated, man. Man, come on, you can't be that dumb to not understand that your options within any control structure are limited. This is not nature. This is a controlled system. This is why I don't like Boyce Watkins, why he lied to y'all about this investment and stuff. He know that market is controlled. He know that market is controlled. So why do we have a nigga telling us to invest more into it? All this Bitcoin shit a couple of years ago. Invest in Bitcoin. Y'all don't realize y'all was setting the groundwork for digital currency, because that's where they want to take us next. They really want to get you where they put the squeeze on you. Man, before they get to digital currency, we need to get out this system. Because, man, you think it's bad now. When you got digital currency, it's going to get real bad. These people are already creating police states. They're already trying to roll out cars that have cameras built in it under the guise of safety, you know, for people, impaired drivers, right? That if you swerve or something, the camera cuts on, the camera can see who's in the car. They can tell your race, ethnicity, all this stuff. And they're going to put devices in it to register your blood alcohol, you know. I mean, it's crazy. And they're trying to mandate that all the cars built after I think 2 more years from now, every car built have these things in it. They are creating a police state. Because that's what power does. Power, it corrupts the powerful. And the more they get corrupted, the more paranoid they get that they're going to lose power. So they start squeezing more and more and more. They're not going to be satisfied till they have you living in a box. And they tried that with the COVID thing. The best thing to do is self-isolate. Self-isolate, that's not living, people. So you that afraid to catch a virus that might not even hurt you, by the way. That you got a 98% chance of not even being affected by it at all. And if you are affected by it, you got another 98% chance of it not even making you really sick. So you that afraid of something that you have less than a 1% chance of actually being hurt by, that you would rather not live at all, that you would rather just go to work and go inside. That's the insanity that they told y'all, and y'all went for it. And y'all went for it. They are testing to see just how much control they actually have over us. So anyway, I done drifted a little bit, but the point to all this is that the system promised us something and then it took it away from us. And our blacks, we always had blacks that wanted power, that actually went to these white folks and sold the idea of these white folks system to us. Okay, we got duped. Now we are here. And I'm telling you, it's getting worse. It's not getting better. Y'all not hear me. I am not that old and we live in a different world. I'm serious. This shit is not even recognizable. The world I grew up in doesn't even exist anymore. At all. At all. I mean, it's crazy. Inflation is not a real thing. Inflation is a creation of the system. It don't cost more to cut a tree down today than it did in 1930. This is a lie, people. All of these things are systemic tools that justify constantly clamping down on people because the power structure wants to maintain its power indefinitely. And that's the problem. They are using this system as a weapon. They are using economics as a weapon. So why do we have so many blacks on here that justify this stuff? Come on, brothers. Look, if you get yours, man, in this system, that's fine, man. But you have to understand why the blacks that don't want no parts of it want no parts of it. You got to understand. There got to be something in you from your creator that tells you to understand this, that we can do better outside of this system. This system is not offering us anything that we can't have on our own. Everything we get from this system, we can get outside of the system. This system has let us down, and for some strange reason, we are still trying to sell the system to each other. Now, you made that make sense. Because I don't see a reason to sell this system to anybody. I don't see a reason to keep justifying this madness, man. I don't see a reason. And I know you don't either. You can say you do, but you're lying. I know you don't see a reason to justify this thing anymore. I know you don't see a reason to keep on selling this system to people. I know you don't. We got to wake up, people. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, remember, man, thumb up, thumb down, man, or drop an emoji. You know, if you don't want thumb it up and thumb it down on that, drop a thumb up or thumb down in the comment section. Interact with the channel so the algorithm can be triggered, man. You know what I'm saying? Help it out, bro, because this message got to get out, man. I know some of y'all recognize it, man. You know, I don't care if y'all don't like my delivery. I don't care if y'all don't like me. The message, bro, got to get out. Regurgitate it, repeat it, spread it. The message got to get out, bro. I'm not looking for popularity. Again, I'm not one. I don't want no power. I don't want no control. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for it. But I know one thing. I'm going to safeguard what we build. I know that much. I ain't letting no dudes with certain type of mindsets come in and take over shit. And I ain't letting no women with certain type of mindsets come in and take over shit either. So what we build together, it will be maintained by the proper types of men. And men only. But that's a topic for another day. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, I'm out of here. I'm Brother Kush, a.k.a. the Black Alpha. So long.